What's up, everybody? This is your girl T, Not Your Average Podcast in the 716 on the Building Buffalo Network. I have a special guest, y'all. I have a special guest. You know, this is off-season talks. And I'm just gonna let him do his thing and tell you guys where you can see him at. Go ahead, Julian.
What is up, Bills Mafia? As always, nothing but love to T is still Not Your Average Podcast. Big Mike, nothing but love to you guys, built in Buffalo. I am Julian J. Mafia. I am the host of Mafia Talk, a Bills fan podcast. I host it with my big cuz, Pedro Pizzi. And we're on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, pretty much all platforms, Instagram, Mafia Talk, Mafia Talk Bills. You can find me on any platform. Hit me up. My show's open to all Bills Mafia. Not even just Bills Mafia, all football fans. We like to chop it up. Like the name is, Mafia Talk. We let the Mafia talk. So we have a great time just chopping up Bills. I like to say we're like bar talk. So that's why I feel like makes my podcast unique and special in that way. But like I said, tapping with Tia Stowe, nothing but love. She showed me love when I first started. So it's always love right back.
Absolutely. We gotta, you know what? I like that because content creators sometimes don't support one another. And I'm far from that. So
Absolutely.
If I can help out anyway and you can help me out anyway, like I'm good on that. Like you said, it's always love. So let's get into this season.
Do it.
How do you feel, Bills Mafia, man? We had an up and down, I guess an up and down season last off season. The last game. How did you feel about the last game and what did it tell you about the Buffalo Bills?
So the last game that we played, obviously against our arch rivals, the Kansas City Chiefs, it just told us that we just can't beat them in the postseason. Every year when we play them in a postseason, even in the regular season, we play them the same way. It's a tough battle, and it goes down to the last couple minutes in the fourth quarter, and we just always end up in the losing column in the postseason and in the winning column in the regular season. And when I analyze both games, they're both the same. It's just the tide turns each way. So, but with that last game, it just told us again that we just can't get over the hump. It's tough. We can blame coaching. We can blame defense. This year, I'm blaming Josh Allen. Josh Allen had 3 minutes left, 3 timeouts, down by 3, and went 3 and out. Like, with everything, with the referees, with how the defense played and the play calling and special teams and everything was said at the end of the game. Josh Allen, it killed me because when I rewatched that game, they kicked the field goal and go up by 3, and Josh Allen just sitting there with a puppy dog eyes, like the game was over, like that was a game-winning kick. And listen, I haven't really properly expressed myself after that game because after the season was over, because we kind of just have our last hurrah show, we kind of go in hibernation. But it really pisses me off because we always say like, oh, with 13 seconds, Josh Allen had the ball. We know what's going to happen, and this and that and the third. And Josh Allen did have the ball for the last 3 minutes, and he was just sitting on the bench looking sad, like the game was done. And what? Somebody asked him, "Are you okay?" He's like, "Yeah, I'm good." Like, where's the screaming dude? Like, let's go! Why is nobody around Josh Allen hyping him up? Like, come on, Josh, we got this, man. You got 3 minutes left. It's our game, man. Score a touchdown, we up. Like, no, dude. I don't know.
Do you think it's a mental block now when it comes to the Kansas City Chiefs?
Yes. Now that game really solidified where it's really a psychological game now. Like, it's not that we're not good enough to beat them. We proved that we're good enough to beat them. Now it's a mind game. I feel like Sean McDermott can coach a good enough game, and he has, to beat Andy Reid, because I feel like that's been a problem in the past where we couldn't beat the Chiefs in the past because Andy Reid is that much better of a coach than Sean McDermott.
Right.
I would say, Josh and Mahomes are neck and neck. We can argue I believe. Josh Allen's more talented. I just feel like Mahomes is just in a way better situation. That's why he's the quarterback that he is, but that's a different conversation. But it's just tough. It definitely is a psychological game now where I don't know. It's a big question where, now what do the Bills need? Do they need this? Do they need that? Who do we need to draft? we're fine the way we are. We just got if we're healthy enough, we're good. We can beat them. It's just these guys. It's a mind game now, and they gotta get out of that. I don't know what can happen to get
Right.
them out that mind funk.
I'm really surprised because not a lot of people are blaming Josh Allen. Like I don't know. Look, me and Mike is all with the blame is the blame, and like me and Mike kind of got into a debate of everybody eats and stuff like that, and there's not a lot of people again that will blame Josh Allen when it comes to this last the third what was it 3 minutes and 33 seconds on the clock. Josh had the ball, right, and if he has the ball, like you said, we are good. Like we're good. We're gonna go down there. Josh is gonna do what he normally do because in these last few games that he's lost or the Bills have lost, Josh didn't have the ball, right? So now he has the ball, and the Bills still come up short.
Right.
So I can see why you say what you say. It's tough because they say the last game is who you are, and I don't know if that's true or not, but it was tough. It's definitely tough.
There's a lot of factors that goes into it, but I mean, we want to hype up Josh. Like I feel like we give Josh so many passes because he is our Lord and Savior in Buffalo. Mm-hmm. He did get us out the drought with the help of McDermott, and now we got our franchise quarterback finally out of all these years. So I get why we shield him from a lot to blame, but that past game, I'm putting 100% blame on Josh. And even when I think about it, I analyze every single play. I watched the all 22 on every play on that last drive. We pretty much went 3 and out. Josh had one 10-yard run to get a first down, and it was 3 and out after that. Mm-hmm. Yes, that last play, Kincaid should have caught that ball. It was a tough play. I don't care. Second year, I don't care. You should have caught that ball. It was a roughing the passer on Josh Allen. It was. It was.
And they called they threw a flag, and then they picked the flag up. And then, I don't know. I think it's very tough because the way they were calling the game was
you can't ignore it. You cannot ignore the simple fact that the referees was ridiculous. Like, but we don't want to blame the refs because when you start blaming the refs, oh, you're just a loser. Oh, you don't be in a situation where it's in the refs' hands and this and that. At the end of the day, can we do something about these refs? It's been going on year in, year out. These refs need to be held accountable. You're quick to take $10,000 from these players for a simple showboat. You make a big hit and you stand up like, you're flexing because you're full of adrenaline and emotion. You made a huge play, third down stop, and you just flex. That's a flag. That's $10,000 out your paycheck. But these referees can make game-altering calls.
Right.
And nothing. It's a slap on the wrist. Oh, you don't get to coach in a referee in the playoffs. That's true. That's true.
That's the crazy. It's the craziness of the league because we've seen it not just the Bills game. We've seen it throughout the whole season that there's been games where it's been decided by certain calls, and it's frustrating as a fan to watch a product that goes out and it's just not what you're looking for. So I mean, they have to do something. Hopefully they do something next year because it's just heartbreaking to see certain things happen. But getting back to the Bills, and the Bills, they were one win away from the Super Bowl, and not thinking at all this last offseason that the Bills could even make it there because of removing certain players out of this roster. Mm-hmm. We were in the AFC game, and you said we don't need anything, right? But I think they need something in order to get over Kansas City or the AFC Championship, whoever that is in the AFC Championship. So you don't think they need anything?
Well, obviously, we definitely need a stronger defensive line. Ed Oliver's not it. He needs a counterpart. Daquan Jones, he was decent enough, but not good enough. We didn't necessarily get the pressure. Groot is a great player, but is he a great player or is he just a really good player? Mm-hmm. Like that, we definitely need to have a conversation about Groot. AJ Epinesa, I feel like he overstayed his welcome in a sense where we gave him a position that we pretty much gave him the shoes that he couldn't fill. I would say with AJ Epinesa. Same thing with Ed Oliver. He got paid, had a great year last year, and just was a shell of himself this year. I don't even remember him taking over a game. He flashed and made a couple great plays and sacks and pressures, but I don't remember a game all season last year where he took over. Like, he was wreaking havoc. We can go back and check, but like I said, his flashes here and there. Ed Oliver have yet to take over a game. We definitely need help on the defensive interior. Like, that's number one. I know we're losing a bunch of players. Cornerback, we need help, but number one, coming into the draft, it doesn't even have to be the draft. We need a big boy in the middle of the defensive line.
Okay. So, being said, how confident are you in Brandon Beane and Sean McDermott getting those pieces that you say we need this offseason?
Now, in the draft, I'm very confident because we always seem to pick up the right players in key roles in the draft. It's tough because I will give our Bills staff, when it comes to drafting and bringing players in, I definitely give them like a B minus, a B plus, A minus. We're definitely above average in terms of drafting and bringing good players into Buffalo, but we don't hit. We don't really get that bona fide number one draft pick that takes over, like last year, Cooper DeJean. Who else? Like Malik Neighbors, or I know they're more closer to the first round. We're always in a back end of the draft in the first round, but I don't know. It's just we don't really hit on those. Okay, we draft this player and they take over. Wasn't really expecting that with Keon Coleman. He could have been if he got a little bit more burn, I believe. But
and we're going to talk about Keon too as well.
Yeah, but
I think so too. I think that the way that the Bills land and the position that they're in, they're never. I won't say never. Never.
Right.
They're, like you said, they're in the back end of the draft, and I'm so up and down when it comes to Sean McDermott and Brandon Beane. Yes, they got pieces in the late rounds and stuff like that. Has Brandon Beane been criticized of late because of how he draft? Yes. Yeah. Do we have a Christian Benford that's balling out? Absolutely.
Then you got James Cook. That's a bust.
Yes. And it sucks because I'm an Elam fan. He signed my son's shoe and he signed my son's glove. I'm rooting for him, but again, if you can't get us where we need to get out the way, because I'm no longer fans. I'm no longer fans of individuals. I'm fan of this team. Like when you start, like the last person I was a fan of was Trey White. Trey White. I was really heartbroken that Trey left. Right. But other than that, I am done being like fans of individuals. Like Josh Allen, of course, because he's going to be here for a while.
So I got a Kyer Elam jersey too, and I can't wear that shit no more because it's not even his number anymore, and he's a bust. So I'm like, now I got to change the nameplate and put Bishop on it. Like I don't know. I thought Elam was going to be that dude for us, but
Bishop does have it's 24, right?
Yep, 24.
Bishop might be the dude though. You know what I'm saying? He might be that guy.
Right. Yeah. All right.
But speaking of pieces, there are 12 unrestricted free agents. We got Johnson. I don't know if you have it in front of you. We have Johnson, Gillian, Cooper, Hollins. Tommy Doyle is.
Let's just go one by one.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
I don't have it in front of me.
All right. So
Ty Johnson.
That's
the big conversation I want to have is because Ty Johnson, we're only going to sign him if we know what we're going to do with James Cook. And James Cook is a huge conversation because he wants $15 million a year. And he was on Club Shay Shay talking about like, I'm not trying to be rah-rah. I'm not problem.
Don't do that. Don't do that one yet, because that's my last question to you.
Okay, scratch that. Right. I'm gonna keep it short and simple. Okay. If we're gonna sign Cook, we're getting rid of Ty Johnson. If we're not gonna sign Cook, keep Ty Johnson.
Really?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Gillian,
no. Fullback is dead. I'm sorry. Fullbacks do matter, but position is dead. We don't use him enough. I know he's a good special teams player, but I do not want to fill a roster spot for just a special teams player. So,
and not even that, we have a different special teams coach in here,
right.
so some of these situations might be totally different.
Yeah.
Cooper.
Cooper is tough. And I know you got a question later in the show about the receiver room, but if the pay is right, if we could get him very, very cheap, obviously keep him. And I feel like we will, because where else would he go? Maybe another team might overpay him and give him some money, but I don't know. I feel like he's gonna stay. But I do not want to chop out more than what we should for a player like him. So right. I feel like we don't know how to use him. So
Hollins,
yes, I would love to keep him. He was solid. Special teams, even on the field, he's better than what Gabe Davis want. Like, he was what Gabe Davis, and for half the price.
Yeah,
so
it's crazy.
I want to keep him
because it was some games when Hollins was the number one wide receiver out there, and you just like, Mac Hollins though.
Yeah.
Mac Hollins, okay,
like
I'm
the fifth receiver in the lineup. Yeah,
right.
More touchdowns than everybody, and he's a special teamer. So yeah.
Jefferson.
I'm sorry. What was
that? Jefferson. Quinton Jefferson.
Nah. Like I said, for a backup player for depth, if you can get him for cheap, yes. But I definitely want to kind of move into like a different room with these guys. Definitely revamp and get a good different sense of things coming into the defensive interior.
Got you. Jordan Phillips.
Yes. He's a dog. He's not going nowhere. He's Buffalo, so pretty sure he's gonna take a cheap contract and stay in Buffalo.
Smoot.
Yeah, we get him cheap enough if he's willing to sign a team-friendly deal. Definitely a backup player, depth player. So I know you're not gonna command much,
right?
But, if you're not gonna take that short deal with us, then I'm not impressed.
You're good. So, Douglas.
Yes,
cornerback.
Definitely give him his money. He was looking suspect towards the end of the season. He definitely was getting picked on, but one of our better cornerbacks, you can't let him go. I don't know who else we're gonna replace him with. So definitely.
See, I'm good for letting him go and picking someone else up.
Okay, I don't know who else we can.
I know,
but
there's a guy in San Francisco. I think his name is Ward, and I know Ward? Is it Denzel Ward?
I believe so. Yeah.
I'm good with him. Also, I know Ward over at Cleveland will cost us a bit of money because I know he's probably looking for a contract.
Right.
But I don't know. I was off of Douglas after this year because it seemed like he gave up a lot and he wasn't pursuing the ball as much. So I could be, he's going to be 32 or something like that.
Yeah, I believe 31. Yeah. So that's tough. I would, if we do get rid of him and bring somebody like of equal value, then okay, whatever. But I don't know. I feel like he came into the team and earned his position. So, like I said,
and not even that, we have another changing of the coaches and this too. So maybe they'll be playing more man, and maybe they'll be looking for something different in this draft.
I've seen that they did that. They switched up to more man towards late in the season.
Yeah. Hamlin.
Yeah. Keep Hamlin. I mean, he's I don't know. I feel like he earned it. He's Buffalo. It's gonna be weird seeing him on a different team. I don't know. That's definitely good because I'm a huge fan of DeMar Hamlin. I know a lot of people got big problems against him, but he's a good depth piece. He's not supposed to be our starter.
No, he's not.
He's a great backup player. So definitely would want to keep him.
Yeah. Reed Ferguson. I mean. Good dude.
Yeah, keep him because you definitely want to have clean snaps. He's been with the Bills for so long, so why not?
Right. All right. So mostly all of these players, except for maybe two, you want gone.
Yeah, there's a couple people that I would want gone.
Yeah,
just like a couple people I wouldn't mind. It just all comes down to the price. If the price is right,
definitely.
Cool.
And not even that, the salary cap apparently is going up from last year, which is great.
Yeah,
and you can extend Josh, and that also frees up some money as well. So this offseason is going to, this offseason is going to be very, very interesting. And it's been named, the Bills has been officially named as one of the teams that have reached out to the Browns about Myles Garrett. Are you in on the Myles Garrett train?
Choo-choo. Absolutely. He's 29, a monster, a dog, one of the best defensive linemen we've seen since he's been drafted. Why not? And I know that's a big conversation where, oh, we want to give James Cook the money. I mean, if we don't pay James Cook that money, give it to Myles Garrett. We need a player like that on the thing. My only biggest thing, and it shouldn't be a thing, but it's like PTSD with me, is going to become the next Von Miller with us. That's the only thing. That's my PTSD, where I don't want to sign another big name defensive lineman and he end up coming here, have a couple good games, and then you get hurt. And then now we're stuck with you. And then you get healthy and you become a shell of yourself and you only get 5 sacks in the season. And it just, we're all upset.
I get it.
That's it.
Yeah, that is PSC.
That's the only thing why I'm hesitant about the Myles Garrett. But besides that, all aboard. Let's go.
Yeah. I was just shocked that he was, because during the season, everybody was asking, is he going to get traded? And he was like, they were saying that there's no trade, but they also said that till this day, today, they said they're not trading him. He's not up. Like, and I don't think he has requested a trade. So it's up to both of them, I guess. I don't know
politics in it. Yeah. It's a lot. We're going to wait until we random get that notification or on Facebook. We say, oh, Myles Garrett is with the Bills or with somebody else. We're like, oh, we see.
What's up, Sandra?
What's up?
It's going to be very, very interesting, but I'm going to have you be a GM for the day. I do this every time when someone comes on, especially in the off season. You have a chance to pick the Bills draft pick at number 30. You can pick, you can do whatever you want, but why are you doing what you're doing? So are you picking or are you trading? What are you doing?
I'm trading at the first round because we proved that we don't know what we're doing with the first round, but we know exactly what we're doing in the later round. So get rid of that pick 30, get like 2-3 of them bad boys in the later rounds and go from there. I mean, I'm just going from the past couple of years where that's like the first couple rounds is a hit or miss. Boogie Basham, we double dip with Group, great pick. Boogie Basham, where is he now? Like, it's just stuff like that. I don't know. It's tough. So definitely I would like to, and I say I haven't really been following this draft. So last year I really wasn't, but I knew a couple names. I don't know nobody in this draft.
So now, okay. So if you, granted, you don't know anyone, what position do
D-line.
You want?
D-line? It's tough because when you draft a first round draft pick, what do you expect out of them? You expect them to start that season, right? You don't want them to sit and learn and this and that and third, unless that position is already good and you're drafting them for the future.
Right.
But in our situation, I want to go D-line, and if that D lineman isn't ready to push Ed Oliver out or start a position, I don't want him. I mean,
I gotta ask, what is your thing about Ed Oliver?
Isn't he supposed to be our number 1 defensive line guy? He's not. He's number 2. Like, I get it. He's undersized, and that's supposed to help him, but I don't see him making no noise the way he used to. And
he's very inconsistent. I get it. He's
very inconsistent. Like, I get it. Like, I'm not telling you to be a Vita Vea, Aaron Donald, or one of these big guys up the middle, but something like, I don't know, dude. Like, okay, you're undersized. Why don't I see you chasing out a running back if he's going to outside run? Or how come I just don't see enough of him? That's why I have such a big gripe against him, because I am a huge Ed Oliver fan. It's just he's not giving me enough. So if you're not going to give me somebody that can compliment him.
Right. The one game that he did, I think, was the Detroit Lions game. Yeah, he had a really good game in that game. And I get what you're saying. I think it's more of who's next to Ed Oliver than Ed Oliver itself. And I get people to say, well, why does Ed need someone next to him? I think the line is a cohesive thing. It's a marriage. Everybody needs everybody to play right. So if DeQuan is not playing up to his par, it has Ed Oliver. Because if Ed Oliver is playing one-on-one in that Detroit game, he was pushing people back. He was doing everything. But once he's double teamed, it's a different story with Ed.
Right.
You know, so, and I get it. Ed Oliver is definitely undersized, but he still got that.
I'm at a point where I don't want him out. And I'm telling okay, get him out of Buffalo. No, get somebody to get put right next to him.
Mm-hmm.
I'm about to call WGR and tell him like, yo, what Vita Vea doing? His big old butt somewhere.
Where is he?
Big old 300.
Wasn't he in he was in Tampa, right?
He was in Tampa. I'm pretty sure he left like a year or two ago.
Okay.
And I'm pretty sure I never heard him announcing his retirement. So I'm pretty sure he's just a free agent somewhere. Why can't you just put his 350-pound butt in the middle of the line and soak up a double team? He could just stand there and push the two guys so Ed Oliver can have his one-on-one. That's all I want.
All right, let me ask you then. Do you want an athletic guy next to Ed, or a big? You want a hot molly
big boy.
Gotcha. And they have this draft is very D tackle friendly. Like a lot of players in this draft right here. So, and also defensive end. How do you feel about Rousseau? And we're just free talking right now.
Rousseau is good. Like I said earlier, Rousseau is a very good player. I'm not sure if he's a great player yet. Mm-hmm. He definitely, that bus is nowhere near him. He definitely is a hit, but I don't know. I definitely expect more out of him. It's tough because he's giving him what he's giving us. You can't complain about Groot. I just wish he gave us a little bit more.
Yeah.
And you want that with everybody in the team. You want everybody to give you a little bit more. I don't know. I just wish Groot was in them top 5 defensive end conversations.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe
I'm with you.
Some games, sometimes he don't. He's consistent enough. I just want a little bit more from him. I want him to be more dominant. I want him to wreck the game more. He's the guy that would take over a game.
Right.
So I'm good. I'm good with Groot. When his contract comes up, I don't think he's going to command a lot of money, but I know a team will pay him a lot of money.
Well, he went out and got an agent. What's that agent that went with Jordan Poyer?
Oh, yeah.
I forgot his name. But he has him now. So, and he has that agent has a good relationship with Brandon Beane. So, I mean, if anything, something will get worked out, or if not, it won't. I'm with you too when it comes to Groot. I definitely want to Groot for me is not a game record enough for me to say, here's the big bucks. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So, and I think I'm at a stage when the linebacker, oh my God, what was his name? We let him go. They let him go.
Who us?
Tremaine. So when Tremaine left, everybody was concerned. But I was like, Tremaine is a freak of nature. But when it comes to these small wide receivers and chasing after them, he couldn't do it. Right. So, and then the Bills didn't skip a step when it came to, putting Bernard in there, because Bernard was, you can see, right, absolutely. They wanted more of an athletic linebacker in there next to Milano, and they got it. So, I mean, when it comes to Brandon Beane, I will give him, he's know what he's doing when it comes to, taking someone out and putting him in. Now, when it comes to the draft, sometimes I'm like, Brandon, what are you doing right now? Right. That I don't want to say that Worthy pick is going to bite us in the ass, but that last game, it was like, Brandon.
Yeah, I get the whole thing with the Keon and Worthy thing. Even if we drafted Worthy, the Bills wasn't going to do nothing with him. I feel like we don't know how to use that kind of player. We did it it goes all the way back to Isaiah McKenzie, and we used him great. And then we tried to transition other players to that role and couldn't. Curtis Samuel was supposed to be that type of player. We did not know how to use Curtis Samuel. So if we would have drafted Worthy, I don't think we would have put him in the right position to succeed. So I feel like we still picked the right guy. It's not like I'm mad. I wish we would have picked Worthy.
I'm with you. I'm not not mad. Like you're already gonna see, you guys picked this guy over this guy. It's like, it's fine. We're not in the rooms when it comes to these talks that who they're looking for. All we knew
match our scheme, I would say.
Right. All we knew is last year they wanted a guy that can go up and get a 50-50 ball. And for that was Keon Coleman, right? Now this year they need a field stretcher, and maybe they'll go out and get Hollywood Brown from Kansas City. Nice. Who knows? And that would be nice because Josh actually said that he would love to play with him. So we'll see. I personally, I can't wait for the draft. I have people over. We watch the draft, but we're pick 30, and I don't know. We're going to be staying up late to watch a draft that we don't get picked in, and I'm fine with it because I love to see where all these guys go.
Right. Yeah.
Speaking of the wide receiver, and the Bills wide receiver room was all everybody eats.
Mm-hmm.
I've been on record. I've said last pod with bro that I was not a fan. I don't think I'm going to be a fan of everybody eats. I think every team needs a true one wide receiver one.
Right.
How do you feel about this? Everybody eats, and what's your thoughts?
It's cute. The everybody eats mantra was cute. It worked. It's perfect for the regular season. It worked in the regular season, but when you get a real tough opponent like the playoff teams, that it just doesn't fly. Because everybody eats. Well, nobody's gonna eat. You're all gonna starve because I'm taking everything off your plate. Like, and then when Josh gets the look in his eye and that pressure's coming, he needs to rely on somebody. I remember games a couple years ago where the first half we're getting whooped. We can't get nothing going. We're looking rusty. We can't. And then what comes? We come out in the second half, hit digs, force it to digs, and march it up the field. And because he's our number one guy, doesn't even matter if it's 1-on-1 or 2-on-2 or they're blanketing him in zone coverage. Josh is gonna hit him. Now remember the one time he was playing the Ravens? No, I mean the Rams. And dude, like you see when they freeze framed it, there was 4 defenders literally within 5 yards of Stephon Diggs.
Yeah. But it frees up the other wide receivers. The Bills
yes.
Opponents played the Bills man this season more than any other season.
Yeah.
They played the Bills man. Because of that, everybody eats mantra. I was just like, I get it. Like you said, it's regular season, awesome, great. But when it comes to these tight games and getting down to them one and dones, you're gonna need somebody to step up.
Mm-hmm. And it comes down to where I would like to bring it back to like 2021, where we were stacked. We had Diggs, we had Beasley, we had Emmanuel Sanders, we had John Brown, we had then Gabe Davis, and then Isaiah McKenzie. So when you got a team like that, like they all got names.
Yeah.
Like, okay, we have to double Diggs. We have to throw another linebacker on Beasley. And then John Brown, we definitely got to throw the safety over on top.
Right.
So when you do that, that's why Gabe Davis had a phenomenal rookie year because they were stretched the field out. So the only person is a wide open Gabe Davis to eat and get big yards. And that's why when majority of those guys left and it was just Diggs and Davis got locked up because he wasn't a space separator, a down the field threat, a space eater, or how to break ankles in short spaces. He was none of that. He was just an extra guy that if everybody's locked up, okay, hey, Gabe Davis, I'm open. I'm the third, fourth option. Hit me. Like, so that's where we benefit to now when we got the everybody eats mantra where, okay, shoot, my number one quarterback could shadow two receivers and we're good. And blanket in favor of safety that way. And then lock everybody else down. Now Josh got to dump it and find a tight end, find a running back, or do it himself when we play better teams. So, like I said, when we play mediocre teams or regular season teams and stuff like that, yeah, it's cute. It works because, I don't know who Matt Collins is. We're not going to check him and he eats. Or I don't know who this guy, he's going to end up eating. And everybody eats, everybody get a game. But when you play one of them top teams, everybody gets locked up in it. Who's going to come out on top? Who's going to be a go-to guy? So.
Oh, wow. For me, so the position. So what do you think the Bills need help in? Is it? I know it's defense. I know on the defensive side of the ball,
right,
we need help. I've also seen that the Bills have paid so much money on that side of the ball to where they are taken away or just neglected.
Yes, that too. Yeah.
Opposite on the opposite side of the ball. So where do you want them to put their eggs in? And that defensive line, or do we need another wide receiver?
Okay, I'm answering this question. Do you still believe defense wins championships?
I do.
Okay.
I do.
Then maybe that's your answer. I mean,
okay.
I
Well,
mean, if you look back to our previous game, I mean, we needed a defense to step up.
Yeah, okay.
Josh was doing what he had to do. I mean, the Chiefs never scored a 30-point game last year, and it happened to be on us.
I know, right? You know what? You're so right, because the last few times, what happened? Our defense let us down. Except you're right. You're right. Defense did need to stop. But I will say this year, it was kind of our offense that let us down. Because they were
a lot of games where the defense kept giving Josh an opportunity, turnover, fork, punt, fumble, and stalled out drive. So yeah, it's you got to pick a side and then stick to it. That's really, if you want to. And just to back it up a couple years, yes, the biggest flaw in the Brandon Beane, McDermott draft and scheme, like, it took y'all this long to finally draft a receiver for Josh. His 6th or 7th year, you finally drafted him a receiver?
Yeah.
Like let's literally go down the timeline of Josh Allen. How many weapons did the Bills really give Josh? I only count Diggs, Keon, running back wise. I mean, Singletary, not really. Moss, no. Cook, yes, but
I mean, but I don't know. Even with all of the stuff, yes, okay, draft. Trades, yes, you could put that in there. But also, too, I think we would not be having this conversation if the 13 seconds would have never happened. Right? I think it was good enough, but it wasn't enough, right?
Right, yeah.
So we got fans still harping on that game to where they won't let Sean McDermott breathe because of the 13 seconds. Now, I think Sean McDermott did a phenomenal job when he took over as defensive coordinator. I think they were more aggressive. I was not a fan of letting it go and giving it to Bobby Babbage, even though Bobby Babbage, I thought, was going to do a great job. I think I like Sean McDermott's defensive scheme and how aggressive he was. And you've seen it. You've seen that defense last year press, do different type of stunts and everything else, to where this year I thought they took a step back. And I know it's Bobby Babbitt's first year, so maybe he'll learn from last year and we'll see a different defense this year. But speaking of wide receivers and Keon Coleman, what's your thoughts on his first year?
Underwhelming. It was very exciting in the beginning, and I feel like they just pulled his leash back for some reason. And I get he had an injury, and I guess there was a press conference that even McDermott was disappointed in Keon Coleman's recovery after his injury, was wrist or ankle or something like that.
His wrist, yeah.
Yeah, and just never did nothing after that. Like, I don't know. Okay, will Keon be a problem? Because we also had a joint where he got benched for the quarter because he kept coming in late. Like,
oh, really?
Yeah. So it's like little things like that. Like, do you really got the work ethic to be our future receiver? It's not really me questioning, but it's like a little concern in the back of my head. Like, first you get benched for a quarter because you not coming to practice on time, and then now even a coach is saying in the press conference how he was disappointed in your recovery after your injury and this and that. I don't know. He was great when he was on the field. I just wanted more, and I wouldn't really blame him because we all know how this staff goes with rookies. We would have never seen Dalton Kincaid if it wasn't for the Dawson Knox injury last year. If it wasn't for Knox getting hurt, we probably would have never seen how Kincaid would be.
He's underwhelming to me, if anybody's underwhelming.
Too. But is it Kincaid or is it the scheme and them trying to share snaps with Knox? I just feel like that whole situation with the tight end room was just kind of, I don't know, you pay Knox too soon, then you drafted this guy. Now you like both guys. I don't know. It's weird.
I think when it comes to Kincaid, I think that, like they said in their presser, he needs to get into the weight room and do what he needs to do to change his body. This is how I feel about rookies coming into the NFL. Like when you're done with college and you're going and doing the Senior Bowl, the Shrine Bowl, all of this stuff, and then you're doing the combine, and then you're doing rookie minicamp, you are not giving and then you're going to see what team you're on. Yeah. You are not giving your body, and I know they're professional football players. you're not giving your body enough time to adjust to go into the NFL itself. And you don't even really know what this NFL team wants your body to look like, or like for tight ends. Am I blocking tight end? What do I need to do? You know what I'm saying? Wide receivers as well. I will give Keon, because Keon, the route tree is not there for him right now either. So I'll give Keon, I'm going to give him a pass because I think that for him, he wasn't pro ready. So this season, I'm expecting him to be better. If he would have never got injured, I think Keon would have been fine. Like Sandra said, he would have been fine. He would have been amongst like the dude from the Jags, Brian Thomas. He would have been with the Worthies. He would have been with the the dude from Indy.
Oh, yeah, I know you're talking about the junior, freaking Marvin Harris Jr.
Yeah, he would have been along with those guys. But this injury hindered it. I don't even want to talk about the guy who did it. This injury.
Oh, yeah. Wow.
Yeah, this injury halted his season. So I'm expecting Keon to bounce back, and with the mindset, because coming into professional football, it's different than college. You might get away with a lot of stuff there. You're not going to get away with a lot of that stuff in this pro league.
Another thing, I just feel like the Bills are not using him the right way. I remember Steve Smith Jr. even mentioned that, like, he's not supposed to be a sideline stretch the field down a deep threat. He needs to have them one-on-one mismatches at the slot. And I feel like, because I remember I had Stevie Johnson on the show too, and time was short, and that was the biggest question I need to ask him, like, as a former receiver, do you really believe that Keon is being utilized in the right way for the best of his abilities? And I wasn't able to ask him, but I really want to dive into a receiver's mindset, because just because you're a receiver, there's so many different types of receivers.
Right.
Like, you got your burners, you got your footwork guys, and you got the dudes can only do short field, midfield, deep field, and however, they can only play the boundary, they can only play the slot, they can only play the number 2, or they can only play left, they can only play right, and something like that. Like, every receiver is different. So I really want to see, like, what type of receiver is Keon Coleman, and how can we put him in the best position in the Bills to really thrive? And maybe because we don't have, if we had Diggs still last year, Keon would have had a phenomenal year. I feel like, because just having that number one guy and then that tension, like, I feel like Keon would have been top 3 with the rookie receivers.
I also think that the addition of Amari Cooper and the attention that he received over there took some stress off of Keon Coleman. Couldn't really see it too much because Keon got hurt. But I mean, here's the hot question of the offseason, and I hate that this is where we're at as the Buffalo Bills, but James Cook went on his IG, and James Cook never speaks as much as he's doing this offseason. And I can't believe we're having a conversation about someone who really doesn't talk. He also went on Shannon's show, and he stated that he's standing on business. Don't know what that means, but he wants his pocket, he wants his money, and I'm for every player getting their bag. Do you see the Bills paying James Cook $15 million?
No.
Okay.
No, not no. James Cook, you can walk. Not saying he don't deserve it.
Right.
15 is a stretch, because if I'm not mistaken, if we pay him 15, he will be the second highest paid running back behind Christian McCaffrey. And Cook, your nose, Christian McCaffrey. Sorry, but I like to play both sides of it. So if I'm pro James Cook for the money, you are the best young running back. The only running backs that are above you is CMC, Derrick Henry, and Saquon, and them guys are out the door damn near. Not saying they're falling off, because they're still thriving. They're still having phenomenal years. So they still got another 2-3, but those are the older heads. They're already good. They already earned their worth. I don't know anybody else that's really Najee Harris was supposed to be better than him. The Breece Hall supposed to be better.
Right.
Handful of other running backs, and I feel like James Cook is just that phenomenal. He's that much better than everybody else because they all had the highlights and the publicity and the mainstream media talking about them. And here comes old James Cook and just a brother of Dalvin Cook. That's the only reason why James Cook got the talk that he did.
Well, the brother was saying 20. The brother was saying 20 million. I said, God.
Yeah, no. So no, you don't deserve that. And honestly, I don't know where you're at with running backs, but in the league, running backs are a dime a dozen. So many major media heads, they'll say you're out your prime coming into the league, and we can find anybody that can do that, fill that. When it comes to James Cook, no. He definitely cleaned up, because the only bad thing we had to say about James Cook is that he was dropping the wide open balls. I don't think he had any wide open drops the past year.
I think he had one. I think he had one.
Maybe one. But yeah, one. I remember one. But yeah, definitely cleaned that up. Could catch out the back of the front running field. Another thing I had a problem with him, as soon as somebody touched him, he got tackled. He bulked up and proved that wrong this year. This dude bobbing, ping-ponging off.
His vision was better.
Pulled out and taking it to the end zone. So all the touchdowns he got, and then let's talk about how he helped Josh Allen and took so much stress and so much off his plate, where he didn't have to run as much, and we had a reliable run game that all of us has been begging for. So in that sense, yes, but 15 is too much, dude. 15 is way too much. 12. I'll hit you out 10 with a couple mil in incentives. Yeah. If you get another 1,000-yard rushing a year, a couple 100,000. If you get 7 touchdowns, another couple 100,000, like stuff like that to get your money. But I will start 10, 12. 10, 12.
Yeah, you and Sandra on the same page. He said I'll give him 10 to 12 with it.
Exactly. Yeah, Sandra said the best.
I'm so I hate that the running backs are considered like, well, whatever, we'll get a new one. I hate that because I think I think that's what the Giants was banking on, and they lost. I think every position deserves its own. If we lose that guy, we're gonna maybe get hurt. It might hurt our offense. I think remove James Cook from this offense. I think they will continue to thrive, but I think it will take a hit. Like you said, James Cook and Josh Allen was awesome together. Also think that Josh Allen is going to be his number one fan to get him here. If the Bills want to keep James Cook, Josh will make a way for his money to be stretched out or whatever. So James can get it. So I did hear on the show with Shannon that they had a conversation. So the running backs, they had a call. It was James Cook. I think it was Derrick Henry, Saquon. It was a bunch of them on a phone talking about if the owners do this, we got to stick together. Now, I don't know if I see James Cook sitting out, but I mean, because the last person who sat out was not Jordan Poyer. It was Jordan Poyer, but not a sit out. I don't know, what is this, a sit-in or something like that, because he wanted what he wanted. Yeah. I don't know. It's going to be interesting this offseason and see what James do, because again, he didn't talk much, and now he's talking.
Yeah, right. When it comes out to that, I mean, I don't think we're definitely not paying him 15. If James could get talked down to like 10 to 12 with incentives, and then but I mean, the way it's going, they probably got the Bills staff probably got PTSD. Like, okay, you sounded very Stephon Diggs-ish. You can go. We'll keep Ty Johnson, because honestly, let's put in big perspective. I was advocate for James Cook. Now I'm with the Bills right now. James Cook, you asked for 15 mil. Mind you, we got 2 other running backs who was performing, I wouldn't say just as well, but up to par. They got the ball. They got positive yards. You forgot the Lions game. Ty Johnson with freaking nuclear. With 150 all-purpose yards, 100 yards receiving? Like, come on now. From the running back to do with nuclear. So, I mean, if we can get 2 more games like that out of Ty Johnson, bye-bye, James Cook. We're good. Come on now.
I hate these talks, because I think James Cook, the last 2 seasons, towards the end of that season, we seen James Cook take a step.
Yeah.
This season or last season, he's a different running back. Like you said, he bulked up, his vision, running behind his blocks. He put on weight. I don't want to let that go. But again, if they can come to some neutral agreement, I can see James Cook being here. I just don't like how it played in social media, and you did it like that, so and then you removed the Bill stuff, and you did all of this. It's like, can we get to some way of us not doing, like, why do players go to that bargaining tool?
Yeah, I feel it's childish.
Let's remove my stuff. Like,
yeah, I feel that's childish in a way. Like, it is or it's not. I don't know, but what I really think the Bills going to do, we're going to let him walk because a team will pay him $15 million.
Oh, yeah, they will.
That's the thing. A team will pay him that money. And then we're going to keep our 2 and then sign another running back, and we'll be good.
Yeah. Like, as long as you don't sign him to a division rival like the Jets, the Miami Dolphins.
Right.
Who else is the Patriots? I don't think the Patriots. Well, I don't know with the Patriots. They got a lot of money over there, or to freaking the Chiefs. So whatever.
Yo, could you imagine?
No,
this kid goes to the damn Chiefs.
No,
James Cook to the Chiefs.
Yo.
Oh my God.
I might have to sit out this season. Like, seriously, I might have to sit out this season.
I can't.
That's crazy. Thank you, Julian, for coming on. I really appreciate you. You're always willing to do this, and I appreciate it. Tell everybody where they can find you and when your stuff drops.
Real quick, shout out to the Queen, T. Estelle from Not Your Average Podcast. Nothing
thank
but
you.
Love. I appreciate you. Like I said, I've been in hibernation, and I'm glad you brought me out because, man, I'm ready. Well, when the season started?
Right. Well, the combine is next week. Okay. That's going to be very interesting to see if you got some guys that you're looking at, it's going to be interesting to see what they do. So, check that out.
Just to watch it, just so you can know some names.
Right.
So when you're watching the draft, you're like, oh, yeah, I kind of know that guy.
Yep, exactly.
I'm Julian J. Mafia from Mafia Talk. Host, my co-host is Pedro Pizzi, Big Cuz. We're live. Well, we were live every Wednesdays at 8 o'clock on the Mafia Sports Report YouTube channel. You can find us on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram at Mafia Talk. For YouTube, I got my own page, Mafia Talk. And then I go live on Mafia Sports Report YouTube channel. Great content all week long. My boy Tommy and Mike, man, nothing but love, man. They help me out so much. They just, I don't know, they make this thing a lot more easier than
I see what you're doing over there. I see you.
Hell yeah, I definitely.
You guys are doing big things over there, and
absolutely.
I definitely check you guys out
all season. So we got time to chill, relax, know some draft kids coming up into the league. But man, I hope Mafia's having a great time, enjoying it to get away from football. And we're gonna be right back at it, and we're gonna take on this year bigger and better. I know T Estelle, she's always out here in the summer doing little events and this and that and the third. So yeah, man, stay in tune.
Yes, for sure. Again, thank you guys for tuning in. This has been Not Your Average Podcast in the 716. Go Bills, yo.
I love it, Josh Allen. Go Bills.